Munzy's been to all these places. Let's bring him in, Biggie Munz. That's what John Lynch always called you, Munzy. You probably know that. We're turning it over to the audience today, and they want to talk about the Coyotes moving to Salt Lake City. You're a guy that's broadcast in every league. You've been to Salt Lake City, right? You have some thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, obviously disappointing. First time in 30 years I had a winter off getting into the golf business. So where did I go? I went to Scottsdale and played golf for 4 days. So, yeah, you know what, going down there and knowing that the Coyotes won't be there for at least 5 years, I think they're going to get a team back at some point if they're able to get this land and win the lottery and have all their eggs kind of line up. But Salt Lake will be interesting. There's no question about it. I was there in the American Hockey League when they had the Utah Grizzlies. I don't remember a lot about it, to be honest with you. All I really remember is that's where Canada had the Olympics, right? Or was it the Olympics or the World Cup?
Yeah.
It was the Olympic Games. Yeah. And
02,
yes. Yeah, and there's an old storage room or a dressing room in the back of the arena that was literally filled with chairs and tables and everything. But on the back wall, kind of like this here, was all the Canadian players that won the medal, that finished with the gold medal. And they had all signed this wall. And again, it was a storage room. So kind of curious to see what happens with that moving forward. But all in all, yeah, that's kind of the buzz. Whether it was a golf course or a hockey rink I was at this past weekend here in Winnipeg, the Arizona Coyotes was what everybody was talking about for sure.
Well, I feel like that's today's meme, Munzy. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. Salt Lake City. That should be their tourist slogan. You won't remember much. Wait a minute. That's Vegas. So to the Jets and Avalanche lining up in round one, Jared Bednar is one of your best friends in the world, the head coach of the Avalanche. So dare I say you'd be pulling for Colorado, or should I not go out on that limb?
No, I think we'll stay off which side we're going to cheer for. But I will tell you, with friends on both sides, much like you have, right? Like, that's the thing about you and I getting old, is we know everybody around the league, and you have friends playing for both sides, or you have friends on the management side or on the broadcast side, whatever it may be. The one thing that I will say, and I think you and I talked about this the last time I was on your show, when you look at the Central Division right now with Dallas, who will finish in first place, and then you've got Winnipeg, Colorado playing for home ice, the disappointment is one of those three teams won't be going on to round two of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now, if you want to break it down, Winnipeg's got the best goaltender. There's no question about it. Connor Hellebuck, or Laurent Brossoit for that matter, their number two, has been sensational for the last number of years, and especially when LB came back here to Winnipeg this year, I think it gave all the forwards, all the defense inside that Jets locker room even this much more confidence moving forward to get to where they wanted to be, and that's now having a good chance to play in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And boy, based on what we've seen at the end of the week here, Jared Bednar's called out his goaltender. Georgiev has not been good, and they don't really have a legitimate backup. So when you get to this point and moving forward next weekend, starting the Stanley Cup playoffs, if you don't have goaltending, you're in a heap of trouble.
Absolutely. And what is it? Is it at least 6 in a row the Jets have won now? Or going in? I mean, the last time you were on, they've lost 3 in a row on the way to losing more than that. And nobody in that room, I don't think, panicked. I mean, this is what you want. If you're a Jets fan, I would, entering the playoffs.
Yeah, peaking at the right time. And to do it where they did, I think that's the thing that impresses me most. I went to the Moose game yesterday to watch Manitoba and the Iowa Wild play, and there was a lot of NHL people in the building watching from a scout and management standpoint, even late in the year right now. And we were all kind of talking about it. Like, you look at the trip the Jets just went through: Minnesota, Nashville, Dallas, Colorado. And to have the success they did the way they did on the road has this entire city buzzing. Like, our golf office here is in the Sport Manitoba building, so all you're doing is talking sports all day, whether you're walking around by the coffee machine or downstairs in the lobby area, and everybody is talking Winnipeg Jets hockey and being excited right now about the whiteout, which is fantastic for the city, fantastic for the organization. They've got Seattle here tomorrow, and then Vancouver comes in to wrap up the regular season on Thursday. And there is a buzz about next week and with what this team did last week, what they're able to do now moving forward.
It's fantastic. And hey, it's a hell of a lot nicer when they're buzzing about good things, not bad things. You've seen both. And I'll be pulling for Winnipeg, whether they beat Colorado. I won't get into a prediction here. But, hey, Game 7, Humboldt Broncos, Melfort Mustangs, baby. What's that?
I saw that.
Basin going through right now. You're watching that very closely. I don't think any of us saw this coming. We better give a shout-out to that second-round SJ Series going 7.
Well, no question about it, right? To have the long game they had, what was that, Game 5? It was Game 4 or Game 5 that went to like triple overtime, and then to be able to win back-to-back games like the Broncos have, to be able to force it all down to 1, it's cool. Like, what a great time of the year. Like, as much as we talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs, I think in the heart, you and I still keep an eye here on what's going on with the junior leagues. And I'm obviously keeping an eye on Swift Current and Moose Jaw with Connor Geekie and Matt Savoy going head-to-head, 2 former members of the Winnipeg Ice. What the Blades are doing right now. I watched the third period of the overtime game of their contest against Red Deer yesterday, and boy, what an atmosphere inside the arena there in Saskatoon. So just a tremendous time of the year to be able to watch this great hockey and see what all these kids are doing right now. It's fantastic.
Well, by the way, it is the best time of the year, and I saw, speaking of friends in the league, kept a very close eye on Zach Benson the other night when Buffalo was here, and honestly, I don't know why they're not better. Not his fault. He's 18 years old, and I think he's a plus player, if not plus, very low minus. And they should be better, but that's a team that clearly we could go on and on and on. Munzie, thanks for the time. I appreciate this. I hope we can do it through the Stanley Cup playoff.
Absolutely, Rod. Look forward to it. Have a good week.
Appreciate it, pal. You too. Brian Munz of Gulf, Manitoba, the long-time Winnipeg Jets broadcaster, Manitoba Moose, and the Dub 2.